y'all for being there. My buddy old Trey from over at the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Bob.
And welcome. You're looking pretty, well, on second thought, looking a little tired this morning.
Well, it's still pretty early. Sun's up bright. It's supposed to be a little cooler today, but I think I hit the snooze button an extra time this morning. Stayed up maybe a little later than I should have last night, but I'm up and at 'em now. I'm glad to be here with you this morning.
Well, you guys had a very important meeting last Friday and set all of our deer hunting regulations, and I know everybody listening that don't know wants to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. We had a big special meeting of the Game and Fish Commission Friday, and of course our regular monthly meeting was the previous week, but needed to let 30 days transpire before they voted on the regulations that were proposed in May, just kind of the timing of the calendar. So that was the meeting where we, of course, we have been dealing with chronic wasting disease, which was we found out about in February. A hunter killed an elk in October of last year, and that triggered our response. And we've since found that we've got about a 23% prevalence rate up there, primarily centered around Newton County, Buffalo National River. And so these regulations that were approved by the commission Friday are designed to help us contain chronic wasting disease, hopefully limit it to that part of the state. And probably the most noted regulations would be that we have established a CWD management zone that includes 10 counties, the 5 counties where we have found deer that were positive for CWD, and then some contiguous counties around that. And so that zone will be managed a little bit differently than the rest of the state. One of the big things is if you hunt in that area, you will not be able to transport like a deer carcass out of that. Say you live in central Arkansas and hunt in Newton County, you wouldn't be able to bring your whole deer back. You would be required to only bring out debone meat essentially, or finished taxidermy products, cleaned skulls, like say for a European mount, teeth, tanned hides, but nothing, no meat with bones or whole animals, because we don't want folks disposing of that carcass, in a part of the state where we haven't found CWD, right, and introducing the disease to another area.
Okay, so that area is going to be supervised a whole lot different.
A whole lot different. We're also going to liberalize the deer harvest in zones 1 and 2, which is northwest and north central Arkansas primarily, going from a 4 to a 5 deer bag limit. We're going to liberalize antler restrictions. You wouldn't have to adhere to the 3-point rule in those areas. And the idea is, mature bucks tend to move a little bit more so they can spread the disease farther. So we want to basically lower the deer density. But probably, Bob, the most important regulation, the one we've talked about here with you before, and I think the one that we received by far the most comments on during the public comment period, is the baiting and feeding. And,
right.
And I want to let folks know that baiting and feeding will be allowed throughout most of the state. The area, that CWD management zone, that 10-county area, and you can get all the details at our website, agfc.com. But you will be allowed to bait and feed deer between September 1st and December 31st, but not the rest of the year. But the rest of the state will be as it has been. Nothing will change. So I
like
think
if I hunt down in Arkansas County.
That's right. Nothing really will change for you down there.
All right. That's good news.
Yeah, I think as we were talking during the break, Bob, it's we put these regulations out there back in May. We had 11 public meetings around the state, a live call-in show on AETN, and I had a survey asking for folks' input on our website, and that was by far the thing that people were most concerned about, worried that we're probably going to see a drop in license sales because of this. Every other state, the other 23 states, have all seen that, and we don't want to discourage hunting, and we want people. We're going to need hunters' help as we move forward on this. So this is going to allow people to continue to do the things they've been doing to help them harvest deer, and it's I think an example of the Game and Fish responding to what the public said and their concerns, and a compromise was kind of struck there, and so those or restrictions on baiting and feeding will apply solely to that CWD management zone, that 10-county area in North Arkansas.
So any information, they can go to your website?
Yeah, the website has everything there, agfc.com, and we've got all those regulations and the ones we haven't talked about here today. There's some other rule changes based around CWD, but those are all there at agfc.com. And of course, you can always give us a call and ask us questions, and send us. You can send us an email if you have a specific question about it, and we'll try to get it answered as quickly as possible.
Good deal. Well, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Bob.
Good deal. Good news, too.